Hi everybody, Amber here with Healthymale and Liam, which you guys have seen before. Today we are going to take you on a tutorial of how to take your measurements. So if you ever wanted to start a fitness journey and you were on your own, you can find one of these soft tape measures anywhere at Joann's, maybe even a Walmart. I didn't look there. I definitely got this one from my gym, so I was lucky. But I'm going to show you today 2 different ways to take your measurements. Let's say you're having a friend take your measurements and you don't really feel comfortable and you don't want to take your shirt off. It's okay to take your measurements with your shirt on, as long as every time you take your measurements, you make sure to wear the same shirt. Okay? The reason why we suggest to take your shirt off is you will get more accurate measurements that way, and so the shirt's not all bunched up everywhere and all that. But I always tell my clients, as long as you wear the same clothes when we take your measurements, it should be okay. Some of the things we'll be able to move the shirt out of the way for, or the pant leg. But if we do the measurements on your chest or your abdomen, you'll see that it's okay. We're going to do it both ways. I'm going to actually show you how to take the measurements, having somebody take them for you. And then if you were to take your own measurements at home and not have any assistance from anyone, you can do that as well. So we have a few sites that we are going to take the measurements from. The first site we're going to start on will be the chest. So what I'm going to do is have Liam put his arms up to the side like a T, and I am going to actually find his nipple line, and that is just the easiest way to make sure that we are in the middle of the chest. I am going to, not very easily, wrap my arms around Liam. Sometimes you have to have your client hold the tape, or try to get it yourself just around the nipple line. Now go ahead and drop your arms down. Make sure you always have the person or the client drop their arms down. Go ahead. As it will expand the chest. Okay, let it go. Next, we're going to take the measurements of both arms, the right and the left. The best way to know that you are getting in the right position on the arm, like I said, is first you can have him roll up his shirt sleeve. Then we're going to have him drop his arm down by his side and just relax. We're going to start at the shoulder and we measure down to the elbow. We're at about 11.5 on Liam. We take that number and we go in the middle of that. He's just worked out, he's a little sweaty. Drop the arm, let it relax. And that is your most accurate measurement there. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other arm. Sometimes you might find that your arms measure a little bit different, and that's okay. My kid's trying to come in here. As you can see, anything you do in the fitness world can be done at home. So same thing, we're going to measure halfway through, or halfway in between. Actually, his arms measure the exact same length. Wrap it all the way around. Let his arm relax. Very good. Next thing we're going to do is the waist. We can do this 2 ways. Once again, we can do this with the shirt down. And what I would do is I ask my clients to find their belly button for me and hold the tape measure at their belly button. That way you don't have to do a barrel hug. You can just kind of walk around them. And with his shirt on, we're just going to pull it down a little to make sure that it's not all bunched up. And then go ahead and let it go. Relax, arms down by your side. And that is his waist measurement. Next thing we're going to measure are his hips. I'm going to have him stand with his feet all the way together. That will give us the most accurate representation of where your hips are at. We're actually going to measure at the thickest part of his glute. And I'm going to have him hold the tape for me, so once again, I can just easily walk around my client. And like I said, it's okay that they're fully clothed. Okay, let it go. And just make sure that they always wear the same outfit when you're weighing them in and taking their measurements. The last 2 measurements we're going to take will be on the right and the left leg. What I typically do is have my client put their leg up somewhere where they're going to have a nice 90-degree angle. And then I do ask if they are wearing shorts that are easily able to be pulled up. We will ask them to pull them up to get the most accurate representation. And I start at the crease of the hip and the leg, and I measure down to the knee, and then I go halfway in between that measurement, and we loop it around the thigh. And we get our measurement. Oops. Good, and we're gonna do the same thing, but with that left leg. He's gonna bring his left leg up, pulling up the short leg, or the shorts, the pant leg. And it's okay if they're wearing compression pants or compression long underwear. That's okay. That usually won't interfere with the measurement. So we're going to go halfway between that crease and that thigh. Wow, it's going to be awkward to read.
There you go.
And that is how you take somebody's measurements. Now, I'm going to show you a way to take your own measurements at home. It's going to be the same process. I'm going to guide Liam through it. So what he's going to do, let's say he's at home and he's alone and he wants to take his measurements. He's going to take the tape measure and he's going to have to put his arm somewhere and he's going to have to hold that tape measure up, find where the middle of his arm is. See where it's 11?
Yeah.
Okay. So he knows that, then you got to find the middle of where 11 is at. It's up here. Okay. Now you're going to start there. You're going to turn the tape measure. And he's going to wrap it around his arm himself. And then he's going to drop his arm.
One more time.
Did you get it? Let me see.
So, halfway. And then around.
Is it too hard? So you got to kind of do it like this. Let me see. Why is this seeming like it's so hard? I'm at 8.
You do it maybe a little more in front, you just flip off to the side.
Right. Okay, and then you drop your arm, pull the tape tight, and then get your measurement from there. Okay? It's going to be the same thing when you take it around your chest. Try again.
Sure.
He'll have to pull the tape a little so you can read it easier.
Yeah. Well, I'll find where it's ending and meeting.
That's not working on the arm. Let's not do that.
No.
It's not working. Let's do this. Okay. It's a little hard to take your arm measurements at home. Okay. But for your chest, you can do that. Go ahead and find your nipple line. Wrap the tape around your chest. Yeah. This is something you can do with your shirt off if you're at home alone. And then you have to let your arm hang down by your side.
Yeah, and it goes a little wider as you do that.
Yeah, because your back
Mhm.
spreads. Yeah,
Pull it
42
tight.
is right. 42 is what he was at. And pull it tight. You want it snug at that nipple line. He's going to find his belly button. He's going to wrap it around his waist. And he's going to take the measurement from that belly button midline. Do the same thing with his feet together, measuring his hips.
So around the glutes.
Feet together, the widest part of the glute. Pull it snug. Yep, there's your measurement there. And then same thing for your legs. You'll bring your thigh up. We'll go half halfway between that crease and the knee. And then we'll pull it snug around the thigh, and he will get his measurement. Very good. And then you do it on the other side. Yeah, pretty close. Good, just try to keep your leg to 90 degrees. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty close. So that is how you take your measurements. The way that we take body fat here is I use a hand tester, and that is anywhere from a 3.5 to 5% error in accuracy. I use that because it is fast and it is simple. It is something that we can do fully clothed, and I don't have to have my clients lift their shirts up and pinch them. Obviously, the caliper test is the most accurate, besides the body dunking all the way underwater. And I do have calipers, but a lot of my clients don't want to lift their shirt up. And the hand BMI tester, it just gives us an accurate account of what your body fat currently is, and if it goes down in number, we know we're doing the right thing. So that's why I use that. It's quick, it's easy, and that's how we test the body fat. We don't really go by body mass index in the health and fitness industry. It is important because the medical field has given people a range according to their height, a 15-pound range of weight of what you should be. If you're 5'5", you should be between this range and this range of weight. According to the calculation that they use to do your body mass index, which is your height to weight ratio, it can be off for somebody who has a lot of muscle mass but is very short. So you could have a lot of weight that you carry, but you're not heavy, you're not fat. So we also use the hand tester, and it will give us an accurate account of your BMI just through your height and your weight ratio that you enter in there. And like I said, again, we don't really go by BMI, but we just write it down, we keep note of it, and if that number goes down, the same thing, like your body fat, we know we're doing the right thing. Okay, thanks everybody.